Hi guys, it's Angie with Fun Endeavors Tie-Dye Lab. Today let's make another side Hemostat Mandala. I promised to redo this design and show you how I folded the last one. I'm so sorry my camera was not functioning for some reason. Okay, so I'm starting out with my shirt turned inside out, and I've made a mark on the side of the shirt where I'd like for the center of the mandala to be. It's a little bit higher than the actual center of the portion between the underarm of the shirt and the hem of the shirt. I'm going to grab the hem of the shirt and fold the shirt in half on the line that I just drew. Then I'm going to grab the corner of the hem of the shirt and fold it back to that main seam. Basically kind of like an airplane fold. Now I'm going to turn the shirt over and do the same thing with the top portion of the shirt. So this is a women's shirt, and the sleeves of this shirt make this one a little bit more difficult. The sleeves of a lady's shirt are just different than the ones of like a unisex or a man's shirt. They're shaped a little differently, not quite as squared off. So I'm going to have to just work the sleeve into this fold. Now I'm going to fold each side one more time. And if you'll notice, I'm using like a metal ruler to kind of form a crease on my shirt to make it a little bit easier. This women's shirt is 100% cotton, but it's just a softer cotton and it's a thinner shirt. So it doesn't hold the folds quite as easily as say a Gildan Ultra Cotton shirt does, or a little thicker, heavier weight shirt. Okay, so I finally have the shirt folded, and I'm using my washable marker to make a mark where I don't want the mandala to extend beyond. I'm using curved hemostats for this design, and I'm going to place a smaller set of hemostats right at the very end or the center of the mandala. I'm placing the hemostats at an angle. For the remaining part of the shirt, the majority of the hemostats that I'm going to use are at least 10 inches. I'm going to place those with the curved portion facing down, and I'm going to alternate adding the hemostats to each side of the shirt. So it kind of makes a zigzag pattern. As thin as this shirt is, I can get by with using, the 10-inch hemostats, probably for the duration of the shirt, except for the fact that the design starts to get wide enough that I have to switch to 12-inch hemostats just because of the length of the teeth area. Once you have the hemostats on the shirt, you can do whatever you want with the remaining fabric. I'm going to put a little bit of a design in this part by doing some fan folds. Then when I get to the part where I can't fan fold very much anymore, I'm going to spin this around, do some fan folds in the other side, and tie it with some kite string. Because I put the mandala on the side, I have quite a bit of extra fabric at the end, so I have quite a bit of space where I can put a design and add a little bit of interest in this portion of the shirt as well. So once I have this area tied, I'm going to go ahead and place the shirt aside for a couple days and let it dry out completely. Even though this shirt is not super thick, I still want to let it dry out because I get better color saturation in the center of a mandala whenever I apply the dye to a dry shirt. If you want a little more information about this topic, I have a blog out on my website, and I have a blog post which discusses this topic in more detail. There's a link to my website down below in the description for this video. For the color palette for this shirt, I've chosen kind of some grayed out blues and some grays and blacks. So it's going to be a darker color palette. To dye the shirt, I've placed it on top of a metal rack, which I have over the top of a plastic tub or tote. Then I need to make some form of an ice barrier, and I found one of the easiest ways to do that is to take the silicone cake molds and place them between the hemostats and then clamp them together using some wooden clothespins. You kind of have to get creative to make ice barriers sometimes. Then because the shirt is completely dry, I'm going to lightly spray it with some soda ash solution that I've placed inside of a spray bottle. That's just going to help the dye stick a little bit better. When you look at the shirt, there's almost 2 rows of sections formed by the hemostats. On the top row, or in the top sections, I'm going to place the blue colors. At the very end, I'm starting with Blue Kachu from Dharma Trading Company, and that was a special muck dyed color that they offered, which is no longer available, and I don't think you can purchase it anywhere else. Then in the remaining sections, I'm going to place Mom Jeans from Dharma Trading Company, and I actually think that may be a special order color. You can still get that one from Dharma, but in large quantities. Or I have a link down below in the description for this video for a Facebook group called Tie-Dye Supplies Marketplace, and they sell the special order colors in smaller quantities. Then in the next section, I'm going to apply Lunar Blue from Custom Colors, and the last section I'm using Wedgwood Blue from Dharma. In the bottom sections, I'm going to use Charcoal Gray from Dharma Trading Company, Brushed Steel from Dharma, and Raven from Dharma. Right outside of the hemostats, I'm going to use Stormageddon from Dharma, and here again, that's another one of the special order colors. And in the remaining area, I'm going to put some stripes of Stormageddon and some stripes of Smoky Blue from Die Spin. Now I'm going to add on an additional sprinkle of soda ash and the ice. After this first layer of ice melted, I came back and added another layer of ice, and then I just allowed the shirt to process. I left it for about 24 hours before I began rinsing it. To rinse the shirt, I took it to my utility sink and started rinsing in cold water to rinse out the soda ash. I took the hemostats off and untied the shirt, then warmed the water up to hot and continued rinsing in hot water to try to rinse out the excess dye that didn't bond with the fabric. Instead of rinsing for a long time, I ran some really hot water in my utility sink, added a little bit of Blue Dawn dish detergent to the water, and allowed the shirt to soak. When the water cooled off, I changed it out and I continued that soaking process until my water was remaining almost clear. Then I put the shirt along with some Dharma's professional textile detergent into my washing machine and I washed it using a hot water cycle. Okay, so the shirt's been washed, dried, and ironed, and this is what it looks like. Okay, so what do you guys think? So I think this shirt is a lot. This is a lot of really cool colors that split all on one shirt, which in my opinion makes it a lot. It makes it really busy. I knew that the colors that I was choosing, especially the darker ones, I knew all those were going to split. So this is really my fault. But I didn't quite know how busy the shirt was going to look. I really should have used maybe a few colors that weren't great color splitters, and especially in the body of the shirt. The mandala's not so bad because it has a little bit of definition from the hemostat, so that kind of keeps the color splits within a certain area. But using the Stormageddon and the smoky blue on the other portion of the shirt just made it a lot. I think the mandala area is really pretty though, and with the way that I folded the rest of the shirt, I kind of ended up with a little bit of a design on the other side of the shirt as well. It's not quite as bad when you are looking at it in person. I don't think it looks quite as busy, but I personally prefer a little more toned down tie-dye shirts. I mean, I like the designs, I like cool stuff like that, but when it gets to be just a whole bunch of stuff in one shirt, it gets a little too busy for me. But what do you guys think? Drop me some comments down below and let me know. And if you've enjoyed watching me fold this shirt and actually get that on video this time, I sure would appreciate it if you would like it and if you'd subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you'll hit the bell, you'll receive a notification whenever I upload a new video. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a great day.